Hey guys, welcome back to the Burning Page. Just want to take a moment to thank everyone that's took the time to check out the videos thus far. But without further ado, let's jump into today's matter at hand. Andrzej Sapkowski's The Witcher. Now, that's a series that I've wanted to get into for a long time. I have dabbled in the Witcher 3 video game somewhat. However, I only played like an hour or so of it. And I found out that it was based on the books. And I wanted to read the books before I played the game because I don't want to get spoiled. So I kind of pulled back from the game, and that was a couple of years ago. Here I am finally getting to these books. Now, I picked up the box set at work, which contains volumes 1, 2, and 3. Now, that's a little misleading as I found out afterwards because, as you can see, this is numbered volume 1. However, there were 2 books that came out before this that were more or less short story collections and contained a lot of, I guess, character building, things that would let you know about these characters before you read the books. That being said, I will say, first of all, I had no trouble getting into this book and the characters because he does such a good job of that. Now, this is going to be a review in 2 parts, I suppose, somewhat, or a tale of 2 reviews, because the first thing I'm going to tell you is, if you are looking to just pick up a book and read it and not looking to invest in a series, don't get this book, because it is, how do I put this? It's, it's not a super long book, but it's an investment of your time where I'll go ahead and say not a lot happens. It's still an enjoyable book. But if you're just looking for a standalone, this ain't going to be it, because most of the book, Sapkowski just uses to build this world, to let you know these characters and their motivations, to introduce you to the magic system, and to set the stage for what's to come in later novels. So, if you're looking for a standalone, this ain't it. But, if you are looking to dive into a series that I believe is going to be very fulfilling as it goes on, I do recommend this. I read this book in a pretty quick pace because the writing style it really grabs you. I love the character development. I love the world building that he does. And, a couple of things that I do want to talk about with this book is, now I know this book was published before the YA boom really hit. And I know that a big segment of the YA books is a strong representation of female characters, strong representation of that, and I'm all for it. I will say that Sapkowski, I feel like, was maybe a little ahead of the curve here because some of our main characters are very strong female characters, and I feel like they actually, because it could be argued that even though this is the Witcher series, at least this book, it really almost felt more about a book about Ciri, who is the daughter of a princess that is rescued by Geralt of Rivia, or the Witcher, and raised, but you see that it's going to be, she's very powerful, and she's going to come into much more importance as this series goes on. And you have Triss Merigold, who is a strong sorceress. You have Yennefer, who is also a very strong female character. So that's what I'm saying. There's good representation, I feel, in this book so far. I can't speak for the rest of the series yet, but I will say in this book, I do feel that there's strong representation of strong female characters. Also, I do think that it's a very interesting take because one of the common tropes in fantasy is a chosen one trope, where you have the one character who is the chosen one that is going to, their destiny is to, save the world or save the universe or the multiverse, whatever. And there is a chosen one in this, but it's not Geralt. It's not the Witcher. The chosen one, Ciri, Geralt, who I guess technically is supposed to be our main character, he is more the protector of the chosen one. And I think that's kind of a cool twist on the trope. So definitely enjoying that. Now, as I said, I did purchase the box set. I'm actually a little over halfway through the second book in the series now, A Time of Contempt. And I have to say, it's definitely still building, but there's already more that's happened. than in this book. So I do think that this is going to be a worthwhile investment. I think there are 5 numbered books in the series, and there's 3 non-numbered, or more tales of books. So I'm going to say that I definitely think that you guys should check this out. Now, the basic plot line, I guess what we're getting with this, though, is there is a war building between the humans and the non-humans. And by non-humans, we mean the classic fantasy creatures like dwarves, elves, gnomes. But there's definitely a war building, and it's going to be interesting to see where the Witcher and Ciri and the Sorcerer's Council falls in this war. And that's some of the political intrigue that we get in this. So that's definitely interesting. Also, the Witcher is known as a monster hunter. He's a mutate. Him and the other Witchers, they mutate themselves through ingesting various potions, various herbs to gain abilities. But their whole purpose is that they're monster hunters. They go out and kind of like bounty hunters, but they accept payment from villages and townspeople to slay monsters. And that was something I knew going into this. Kind of interesting that in this book, Blood of Elves, there's really only one monster slain the whole book. Now, it's a cool scene, and it definitely had me, it gave me the taste of wanting to see Geralt face these monsters. So, hopefully we'll get more of that as the series goes on. That's something else I'm looking forward to. Also want to mention that there's a side character that I absolutely adore in this. Is Dandelion, the Bard. And I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how he plays into the series as it goes on. So, overall, my general thoughts are, if you're looking for a fantasy series to dive into and you enjoy, the idea of a monster hunter and a chosen one who is not the typical chosen one, check out Blood of Elves and be ready to dive in for the rest of the series. And that way you'll be ready for when the Netflix show becomes, because I know that's supposed to come this year, and I want to see how they adapt this. I'm more interested in it now than what I was even before. I want to take a moment to tell all of you again, thank you for the support you've shown the Burning Page so far. And if you don't mind, please also check out some of the other videos here on the Arson Brothers Network, because there's a lot of fun stuff. Be sure and click subscribe. That way you don't miss any of my or the rest of the Arson Brothers videos as they come. And leave some comments below. Let me know what you think of Blood of Elves. Are you enjoying it? Did you enjoy it? Do you think that you want to read these books? Are you excited about the show? Did you play the game? Let's talk Witcher. And with that, I just want to say, this is the Burning Page. Keep the coffee churning and the pages burning.